Mary, Queen of Scots, had already had her dinner and had changed her clothes for the evening, when 4 men knocked at her door with the most urgent news. She had been found guilty of treason and was to be executed at 8 o'clock the next morning. Mary displayed complete calm. She had been imprisoned in England for 19 long years by her cousin, Queen Elizabeth I, and she was ready for her life to end. I thank you for such welcome news. You will do me a great good in withdrawing me from this world, out of which I am very glad to go, on account of the miseries I see in it, and of being myself in continual affliction. I am of no good and of no use to anyone. I have long looked for this, and have expected it day by day for 18 years. She put a hand on a Bible and swore emphatically that she was completely innocent of all the crimes she had been convicted of. Her last hours were spent making sure her servants were taken care of after her passing, dividing her last remaining belongings, and finally writing her last confession to her confessor and almoner, as she was denied the ability to give her final confession to a Catholic priest. She also wrote her brother-in-law, the King of France, about her sentencing and conviction. The next morning, as she walked to her end, it was said that Mary was almost cheerful and was seen smiling. Though she was unable to walk unassisted due to her rheumatism, Mary held her head with a regality and conviction that was noted. She wore a black satin gown worn over a brownish red velvet petticoat. On her head, she wore a white headdress with a long white veil trimmed in lace. She was initially told that she would not be allowed to have anyone with her during her actual execution, because they were afraid that her ladies would cry and wail and possibly dip their handkerchiefs in her blood. It was finally agreed that Mary could indeed have a chosen few with her of those who had served her for so long during her captivity. There were around 300 people in the great hall of Fatheringhay Castle to watch the end of the great Mary, Queen of Scots. Before her was a wooden stage, all draped in black, the block, and a cushioned stool. After the execution summons was read, speeches made, and prayers said, the executioners asked Mary for forgiveness for what they were about to do. She told them, "I forgive you with all my heart. For now, I hope you will make an end of all my troubles." The first blow of the executioner's axe missed Mary's neck, cutting instead the back of her head. The second blow severed all but a small sinew. This last piece was cut with the axe, going back and forth like a saw. The executioner now lifted the head of the former queen from the hair, yelling, "God save the Queen!" And while he did this, the head fell away from the hair still in the hands of the executioner, where it was seen that Mary had in fact been wearing an auburn wig, and that the Queen's actual hair was short and gray. It is said that Mary's lips continued to move for a quarter of an hour after the execution. Mary's small dog, unbeknownst to all, had also hid under Mary's skirts. One of the witnesses of the execution wrote, the executioners, pulling off part of her dress, espied her little dog, which was under her clothes, which could not be gotten forth but by force, and afterwards would not depart from her dead corpse, but came and laid between her head and her shoulders, the dog being imbrued with her blood. Before being buried, Mary's heart and entrails were removed and secretly buried somewhere on Fatheringhay Castle grounds, never to be found again. The garments she wore, the block, and anything that could possibly be used as a relic was also burned. Her body was put in a heavy lead coffin where it sat for almost 6 months. Mary had requested to be buried at either the Basilica Saint-Denis with her first husband or at Reims with her mother. Elizabeth denied this request. Instead, Peterborough Cathedral was chosen. The coffin was finally taken after so many months in the middle of the night to the cathedral for fear that there would be demonstrations and rioting. Mary was given a Protestant state funeral. No fellow Scotsmen were present. Mary, Queen of Scots, was 44 years old when she died. Hi friends, this is Evelyn. I hope you enjoyed this video and got something from it. You help us to share history with classrooms, families that use these videos for homeschool, and you help people all over the world that watch both my live streams and my videos see historic sites and learn about the stories of our past. Be sure to click that subscribe button so we can continue to make history and historic sites more accessible to those who might not be able to come to them otherwise. You can also become a member to my channel that I call the Castle Crew. With that, you get access to a book club, member-only lives, member-only videos, and so much more.